Did you want to do a leaning on the pitch, the intro?
Sure.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, do it right now.
We're leading on the Pitchfork with Trace and Matt.
All right.
Episode 8.
It's hard to believe.
Is it? Yeah, it's episode 8, eh?
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
crazy.
It is. This time seemed a long time in between again. I don't know why, but it did. I think it's got to do with the damn winter weather.
The winter weather, this Monday was called what they call Blue Monday.
Really?
So there's something to that.
I think every day is blue day when it comes to winter.
Yeah. So I had something about it being like the shortest day and just, you're back to work a little bit, you're sort of settled in. You're
off your high from the holidays.
Yeah, the high from the holidays. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're just tuning in there, g'day. G'day.
Hello, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome.
I'm Trace.
I'm Matt. Welcome to the one and only Everything About Nothing podcast. Leaning on the Pitchfork. It's like we planned that.
I know.
This is the podcast that gives you a break from chores to shoot the breeze.
That's right. If you're new here, welcome. We're glad you joined us. We're getting a nice little following.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think Jimmy Fallon will be calling us soon.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. Yeah. Not too sure about that, but
we can dream. So yeah, just two coworkers getting together just to shoot the breeze and have some guests on every once in a while. And
we had Reg on last.
We had Reg.
That was amazing.
Big shout out to Reg I just said to Matt before we went on that I should call Reg and get him on the phone to surprise him. Maybe we'll do that later if we think of it.
That's how we roll with this show. There's not too much planning.
No.
There's a few things here and there, a couple of house items too.
And you might say during the week, Trace, the next podcast, I'm going to touch on,
exactly. Yeah.
And that, but no, we don't script anything. We don't plan
our
anything.
shout outs, we plan a little bit.
Yeah. We kind of say, is there anybody we want, or is there anybody we don't want to forget or something? But otherwise we go by the britches of our pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we're in a bit of a cold snap, I guess this is it's not
finishing it. Just finishing
it. So, but it wasn't as bad as the last time we were here with Reg.
No,
that
was
wind. Windy. Yeah. So
we didn't have any frozen water bowls this time. So that's good.
Yeah.
The barn stayed nice and warm.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm still learning about the frozen water bowls and all these.
That was not planned.
I don't know if the
mics
will pick that up, but a cow moos whenever Trace receives a text. So right now we're just looking at it.
Yeah. No, I had gotten an email. So we don't we bring the young cattle into the barn. We bring cattle in every winter to stop from the water from getting frozen, and it's just their body heat that heats the barn. We keep windows closed and we, seal around doors and everything like that if it's going to be exceptionally cold, like 2 weeks ago and this week. But we do everything to try to prevent the water from freezing.
A few podcasts ago, you mentioned that horses generate a lot of heat, right?
Yeah, so we have a horse.
It's a good idea to have a horse in the barn for that reason alone.
Well, horses are one of these things that you have farmers that call them hay burners.
Okay.
And have no use for them, and you have other farmers
hay burners just because
they just eat hay and don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you got the farmers who have some heavy horses because they like to hitch them up and all that. And then you have farmers that also have the traditional riding horses and all that. So, and then you have, of course, the equestrian farmers who do nothing but horses.
Yeah, those are nice. I like just the setup they have. I love horses.
Horses are they're very therapeutic. Yeah,
they're nice.
But they can be friggin' stubborn as hell and have a mind of their own.
Yeah. I used to help out with horses back in the day when I was a kid. Yeah, I would take them out in the field, like exercise. I'd have like a little jug of rocks, and they would start charging towards me, and I'd start Right? Does that sound familiar?
Never heard about the Rock.
Yeah. And they would go around me, and then they would form a circle around me. It was weird, man. I don't know. I was really young, but yeah.
They were probably used to being put on the lead and exercised.
Yeah. That's
where they go around and around in a circle.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's how you teach them like trot and walk and everything like that. Right?
And you don't realize how big they are until you're like up close to them too. Eh?
They can be. Some of them can be. And they're. Do you know how you measure what the measurement is for horses?
No.
Hands.
Oh, okay.
So you have like an 18-hand horse or something like that. Yeah, and it's basically sort of your traditional size of a male's hand from the foot right up to the. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Should we do some shout-outs?
Shout-outs.
All right. Okay. Do we call this? Is this a segment like just shout-outs?
I think so.
Forks up. Forks up. I don't know. What's up? I don't know. Shout-outs. Okay, so I'll start. Thank you to the wonderful people of North Lanark Regional Museum. We appreciate your support and for letting us record this crazy podcast in their museum. The tea room is beginning to feel like my home away from home a little bit. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yep. Well, I'm here later on for another meeting. So
you're here even more. But no, I like this tea room. It's nice. It's good. And the Christmas stuff is still up. I see. I'll be taking
that's
down.
Our meeting tonight is talking about our next exhibit and
I can't wait.
What all we are going to do for it and that. So
yeah.
I won't leak out any surprises. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
It's top-notch confidential.
Yeah. So there's no events coming up.
I don't think there's any.
Yeah. So
I don't. I should have checked with Doreen, but no, I don't. I don't believe so.
It felt like there. Yeah.
But what you can do if you're listening to support the museum is give them a big like on Facebook, and if you want to buy a family membership or an individual membership, all the money goes towards helping the museum, and then you get a newsletter and all that. So I think it's $15 individual. I think it's $15 individual, $25 for family. So
yeah.
Which reminds me, I still have to pay for your guys' membership for this year.
You haven't done that yet.
No,
okay,
I haven't.
Yeah. Hey, wonderful museum. You highly recommend checking it out if you're ever in the area, or just come out if you're looking for something to do. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Jonah and Grayson, two of my son's Harrison's friends. I'm told they listen to the podcast, so we're happy that you're enjoying it.
Nice. Anybody else?
So you might have noticed, you listening, that the music, the tempo has changed a little bit. I lowered the tempo, and we had help from a good fan of ours, Michael B. So Michael B helped me out. He chose exactly the tempo that he thought was perfect. So shout out to Michael B. We know he likes listening to the podcast. So we appreciate it.
One of our students that has become a great fan of our podcast, and we appreciate his support.
Yeah, and hello and a good day to the spirit of this museum. Thanks for having us back. I'm convinced this ghost is definitely a fan of this podcast. I don't know how you feel, but
I'm thinking so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to open up this drink, Trace.
All right, we're going to hear it's like a commercial.
Yeah. So I don't have a coffee today. Oh, jeez, there we go.
Listen to that. And the sizzle.
Having a Diet Coke on a cold.
I'm having my instant.
Usually I have coffee, but something
instant
about
coffee for this girl.
Diet Coke. It's just screaming at me.
So I have a couple of shout outs.
Okay.
I'd like to give a shout out to all the custodians out there. We have, especially at our school, we have wonderful custodians, Eugene and his team. Custodians are one of those people that never gets thanked enough. Wherever you are, like high school, hospital, whatever. It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
And they do a darn good job of what they do. Get a shout out to our firefighters.
Oh yeah, there was another.
Was it?
No, maybe. Anyway, yeah. So
I didn't.
They're always busy.
Yeah. No, for sure. As we said before, a shout out to Reg. To thank him. We got lots of positive feedback from that. Reg, you have a lot of female admirers in that. And I'd like to give a shout out to our local hub. Now, Matt knows.
Oh, yes.
Matt's never been to the local hub. But our local hub is a little gem. It's a secondhand store.
It's called the Hub, right?
It's called the Hub. It was founded in 1974 by some volunteers, and it is completely run by volunteers. It's the Hub and the Rebound. So the Hub is in the old bank in Almont. The bank sold it to the Hub for $1 after their store burnt down.
It looks like a bank a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it still has the old safe and everything. It used to be actually an old theater way back. And then the Rebound is just down the road, and it takes more of the furniture and tools, knickknacks.
Yeah, I will have to...
That's where I got you your CD players.
Yes, that's where you got all... Yeah, I was looking for Discman, so I couldn't find them anywhere. I was checking out like other consignment stores and whatnot around the city. Couldn't find anything, and then Trace goes to the Hub and then comes...
No, the Rebound.
Oh, the Rebound.
The Rebound.
Yeah. And comes to work with... You probably had like 6 CD players.
That cost me, I think, like total of $14.
Like, yeah, Discmans, like the portable ones. Yeah. So yeah, fantastic. It was great. All the stuff that you show me, I'm always wowed. And next time I'm in the area, I am definitely, like Christine and I want to make an effort for us.
So every Thursday is $5 bag day.
Okay.
Unless there's a price tag on it, it's thrown in the bag. And so the clothes are amazing. Well, you've seen, I've come to school with some clothes, and I've got my mom some really nice clothes.
Oh, it's impressive. Yeah.
And then the first Saturday of every month. But then they also have the odd $5 bag day, just off a whim if everything's gotten too full in that. They average they donate about $50,000 a year back to the community.
Okay, so there's a good incentive there too. So nice.
Yeah. No. There's the cow again.
All right, I'd like to do a big thank you to the volunteers maintaining our outdoor rinks, the ODRs, also known as. Your work gives kids a place to skate, play, and develop your hockey skills. And I don't know, it just brings back the joy to like just unstructured hockey. You know what I mean? Like it's nice that, you have your leagues or whatever, but just to have a place. What do you mean?
I'm just thinking of a story. I have a funny story to tell about outdoor.
I don't know. It just like, it just fosters the creativity and the fun back into the game.
Part of Canadian.
Yeah. Nothing better than a good game of shinny, right? And
that's right.
Provide that. And it's like, there is a lot of commitment to it, right?
So when I was growing up, our neighbor, the father always had an outdoor rink for us kids. And I remember this one night, one of the lads he was playing goalie and he got hit. As Bobby Clark once said on NHL Hockey Night in Canada, he got his bell rung.
Yeah.
And his dad went over and he said, are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not okay. And he's rolling on the ground. And his dad looked at him and he said, well, you better be, because you can't order a new one in the Sears catalog. And I always remember that. I don't know why, but I do.
That's good.
To which the son got very mad at his dad again. But outdoor. And talking about horses, frozen horses.
Yeah.
Balls, their poop makes the best outdoor hockey.
Yeah, I've never used one, but I've heard of this before. Oh, we got a little fly back in here. Something flying around. Yeah. That's pretty good size there.
Probably one of those Asian beetles.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's what
it's our friend again.
Yeah.
Co-host. Any other shout-outs? Or?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, we'd like to also extend our gratitude to you, the good listeners, for tuning in. Thank you. Without you, there would be no podcast, right? So we really appreciate
We've got people in Mexico now.
Yeah,
Ireland, Cayman Islands.
Should I pop that open just to see?
Why not?
It might take a little bit, but we'll just see.
That's okay.
Yeah.
While you're doing that,
it'll be quick.
There
we go.
not that slow.
Okay, so should I go in the past month?
Sure, why not?
So we got Canada, US. So US, which states? Let's just see. We have California. A listener in California, or a few listeners, Illinois, Virginia, New York. So that's pretty cool. Then there's Germany, Sweden, UK, Australia. Pretty neat.
Yeah, in the past we've had Cayman Islands.
Of all time, I'll go through all of it. So, and who knows what these are. But
could have been a oops.
Canada, United States, Germany, New Zealand, Russia, France, Ireland, Cayman Islands, Mexico. So I would find it hard to believe if there's someone in the Cayman Islands or Mexico listening to our podcast, but you never know.
Well, they've opened it up.
And if you are and you're listening to this, send us a message.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, what do they say? Like and subscribe? Is that?
Yeah, I think like and subscribe.
I don't even know if that applies to us.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This microphone is there. We go. There, that's much
are we
better.
good?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. So there's a new series out called the Sticky.
Mm-hmm.
I've started watching it a bit, but it's about the maple syrup industry,
Oh, that sounds interesting.
and it's loosely based around the biggest Canadian heist, which happened in when did it happen?
I've heard of this.
Yeah. Well, it happened happened between 2011 and 2012.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
18.7 billion worth of maple syrup was stolen. Now that is equivalent to $24 million worth of maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
9,571 barrels, equivalent to 3,000 tons.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the most valuable heist in Canadian history. 17 people are arrested. So apparently, in Quebec, they have the Maple Syrup Association quota thing or whatever. So you can't sell your maple syrup like we do here privately. You have to send all your maple syrup to the board, to the maple syrup board or whatever.
Yeah.
They keep it in buildings and then sell it. And there's always a quite a bit of overstock. And apparently over the course of the year and a bit, what they were doing was they were going in, they were emptying the barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of them, they were filling them up with water at the front, but at the back, they were just leaving them empty because you wouldn't go back, 6 rows back to check out a barrel. Anyways, just so happened that one of the big guys was in there doing something and he hit a barrel and realized it was empty and they were moving stuff around or something like that. But yeah, it was big. I remember when it came out.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It gives a whole new meaning to sticky fingers.
Yeah. I didn't think they ever arrested anybody, but when I did a little bit of search, they
There's
did.
so many jokes you can make with that, but
I know, but yeah, I mean, we were all over. We were sort of the, people across the world were making fun of us because it was the biggest Canadian heist and it was maple
the
syrup.
biggest Canadian stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
Did they take off on mooses?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Sticky, it's pretty funny. I haven't watched a lot of the series, but I keep falling asleep.
Yeah, sorry, what's it called again?
The Sticky.
The Sticky. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's on. I think it's on Prime.
Well, I can.
And what's the lady's name? The sort of the lead, the main character. She's been on a couple of good series.
So the Sticky is on Prime Video.
Yeah.
And Margot Martindale. Yes.
She was so great.
She's in a lot of stuff. She's one of those actresses that you probably won't recognize the name. Maybe not. But once you see her face, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, her." She's. I love her.
I remember I watched a series with her, and she was a badass mafia mama that you did not want to mess with.
Yeah, I could see her playing that role, but then she could also play someone the sweet and endearing at the same time, right?
Yeah.
She's really good. Oh, we'll have to check that out. So, where was that shot? Do you think?
I don't know.
So, what was that?
I don't know. What was that? It was heard like a ping.
So, filming locations, Montreal. So,
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, because it happened in Quebec. So, which got me thinking about dumb criminals.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, these guys were not. Well, I mean, I guess you could say they're maybe dumb because they did get caught. But, did you ever hear about the thing they did December 15th of 1985? The U.S. Marshals and the Washington, D.C. police arrested 101 wanted criminals. Do you know how they did it? They did it all in one shot.
Okay.
They sent them all a fake invitation, into believing they won tickets to the Washington Redskins NFL game. And if you go onto YouTube, you can see actually footages of these guys calling these criminals up and pretending that they're, so-and-so.
Yeah.
They received a letter from the Flagship International's Sports Television. That's what they called themselves.
Yeah.
Which really stood for Fugitive Investigative Strike Team. The catch was if they wanted the tickets, they must attend a brunch first. Mm-hmm. And it was there that they got nabbed. So they had all these criminals, and they invited the press and everything. The police and the U.S. Marshals invited the press and everybody to come and see this.
Yeah.
And so you see like all this footage of like all these criminals walking and going, I got tickets for the Red Games. Yeah, and I think that was the year that the Red Games was the Redskins were supposed to have a good chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they were against this team that was one of their real rivals. I can't remember what the team was. So they got them all into this room. Mm-hmm. But then to keep it under control, they broke them into different groups. And the whole thing was ran by undercover U.S. Marshals. So like they had even some of the cops and the marshals were dressed up like as cheerers saying, "Yay, you won!" and everything like this. And then once they broke them into their little groups and they had them sorted out through this great big room, they came in. There was a one guy spoke, mm-hmm. and they what was the? There was a there was a key word they used. I can't remember what it was called. Let me see. I just got some stuff written down here.
Sort of like a key word.
Yeah, so then they knew when to rush in. I don't know. I thought I had it written down here, but I guess I didn't. But it was something like special or like, so when the guy said that word, then they knew that was the cue to
go in. That sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, they've made a couple of movies roughly about it.
Yeah.
Like loosely based on it, but yeah. They got 101 like murderers, rapists, some mafia dudes, some guys who were fraud, and that.
When did it happen?
December 15th, 1985.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
mm-hmm.
God.
And yeah. So a total of 101 criminals. Dumb criminals.
Dumb criminals, yeah.
Dumb criminals.
Yeah.
I've heard of a few.
Yeah, no, there's definitely quite a few out there. So
like, you have to have a lot of guts to.
So yeah, it's Operation Flagship, right? Yeah. Let me see if there's any movies made up here. Operation Flagship.
I don't know. It takes a special person to be a criminal, I think. And then you see these like think of the guy, like not funny at all. Think of the guy there down in the States who killed his wife and his children and then put them in the oil.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he got on TV, and like like wherever you are, please come. Like
how? Yeah, it's awful.
I shout out to the cops and the detectives and everybody who have to deal with these sickening people, because honestly, I think I'd take them in the back alley and only one of us would be walking out.
So apparently, back to Operation Flagship, the movie Trap, that was just it. It's like not a good movie, but it's fun to watch. I loved it, but it's one of those like it's so bad it's good. Was inspired by the true story of Operation Flagship. So I don't know how that. I guess I could sort of see that in a way. So that's just inspiration, though.
Inspiration. And even when they say based on,
yeah,
like it's so like there's very few movies that really do stick to really what, like they always throw in.
Yeah, I think the Coen brothers poke fun at that with like the beginning of Fargo. They say it's based off, but it's not.
Fargo's such a great movie.
Yeah,
it's like Rudy. The Rudy, that movie Rudy. when I was down in Arizona for a conference one time, one of the gentlemen there who spoke, he was telling us a few afterwards that the guy who was Broody, yet that was actually a real prick and nobody liked him.
Yeah, I've heard the same.
But in the movie,
like
every Rudy,
Yeah,
like,
the nicest guy
Yeah,
ever,
exactly.
right? But I mean, yeah, that wouldn't translate too well in the movie. But yeah, you have to be careful with that. And then there's like other little things. Like sometimes I have trouble watching movies that are based off real life. I love watching them, but then once you start digging into what actually happened, and you question why did the filmmakers make the decision to change this certain part? There's no reason for it in a way. It's odd. It's like people just want to get their say in it, have their fingerprints put in it. Like, oh, change this so then they can see it. I don't know what the reason, it makes no sense. Just from little things to big things. It's just, trivial.
When we make our movie, we'll base it on something that's
if
real.
I do a true story, I want it to be 100% accurate. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, criminals. It's I remember reading one time that it is estimated that 1 out of every 3 people, without knowing or not, has had some contact of somebody who has murdered somebody, indirectly or directly.
Yeah.
1 out of 3.
So just contact, could it be let's just say I'm working as a cashier. I'm probably,
I guess, yeah.
I'm sure.
I guess, yeah.
If
you take 3 people and put them in a room, one of those people has indirectly or directly had contact with a murderer.
Jesus. It's scary, man. It's freaky to think about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Anyways, here we go with death again. Eh?
Yeah, I know. Murder.
Well, that's what Michael B always says, that we should change it to. What does he say we should change it to? Something about the death podcast or something?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, should we do Balderdash?
Oh, yeah. Let's do Balderdash. Okay. All right. Where am I here? Okay. You want me to go first?
Sure.
Snollygoster. Okay. A mythical creature that lives in haystacks and steals socks left out to dry. A shrewd, unprincipled person, especially a politician. Or the sound made when someone accidentally steps on a wet piece of cake.
What's the name again?
Snollygoster.
Snollygoster.
Snollygoster. I'll spell it out. SNOLLYGOSTER.
Okay. All right. I don't know about that. That puzzled me. Okay. Mine is Yapok.
Yapok?
An aquatic opossum. A water pouch made from the stomach lining of the yak. An instrument used to measure the temperature of melted iron ore.
Okay. All right. We'll touch base with that
let
one.
Let that fester a wee bit. And
all right.
Yeah.
So we've been asking ChatGPT or AI about the podcast, right?
It's great.
So the first time I asked it would have been about... So AI always evolves, I guess, right? So it changes over time. So this would have been about, 2 months ago. I asked ChatGPT, can you tell me about the podcast called Leaning on the Pitchfork? And so AI responded, sure. Leaning on the Pitchfork is a podcast focused on Ottawa area local news with a fun, wacky twist. It features entertaining content, guests, and laid-back vibe, blending humor and community stories. It's an exciting project. What part of the podcast interests you most? Local stories, the humor, or something else?
That was from 2 months ago.
Yeah. And then I said, who are the hosts of Leaning on the Pitchfork? And said, primarily, the primary force behind Leaning on the Pitchfork is Maddie Gosens. I guess that's my old Twitter, or I still have it, Twitter name. I used to do lots of sends work for it's sort of like content creating stuff for the Ottawa Senators. So I had a Twitter called Maddie Gosens. but there are additional hosts. So it didn't mention you this time, the first time.
No. No,
Which is crazy.
I know.
That doesn't make sense. So, but then I asked it again yesterday.
Yeah, we went at it yesterday. And
Should we do it again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right. So
it's great. It's actually quite funny.
Yeah. All right.
It's changed its tune a wee bit.
Okay. Okay. Hi, can you tell me about the podcast Leaning on the Pitchfork?
Leaning on the Pitchfork is a podcast focused.
We got it?
Yeah. Oh, usually it has the text up.
Doesn't have the text up? Are we going to have to break the rule and let it...
Yeah. Here, can you tell me again about Leaning on the Pitchfork?
Leaning on the Pitchfork is a podcast focused on local news in the Ottawa area. It features fun, wacky content and guests, and it's a big project Maddie Gosens is excited about. Anything specific you'd like to know?
Who are the hosts?
The Leaning on the Pitchfork podcast is hosted by Maddie Gosens, along with a co-host.
It's not funny, because yesterday
It was totally different.
it was talking about... It didn't say about anything local or anything. It said it was quite an entertaining...
It sounds like there might be some confusion.
You're confused,
Oh,
dude.
there we
not
go.
us.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it was saying Trace and Matt, but was that a different one? Maybe, I don't know. But then I was asking who was funnier, right?
Yeah. And then who was funnier about farts or something like that? And I said, well, if we have to talk about farts, then Matt would be the
Well,
funnier
it's
one.
way more personal. I was doing that one on my phone though. I wonder if this is
maybe.
such a weird world with this AI stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, it said we got great reviews and
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's pretty good. So
all is good. I'll see if I can pull it up. Oh, ask. Now, do I have to type it? What's meta AI?
I don't know.
Like, there's
That's probably like Facebook. I think Facebook is called Meta now.
there's so many annoying things now.
So okay.
Oh, here we go.
You got it? Okay.
I think. Hey. Oh, no, I think we have to type it. Well, I don't want to. Okay, let me see. Tell me about the podcast Leaning on the Pitchfork. Oh, crap. Leaning on the Pitchfork. This one says it's a podcast that centers around rural and farm life, focusing on the perspective and experience of people living and working in agriculture settings. Honest to gosh.
It's amazing how much you can get wrong, right? Like, yeah.
If you're interested in hearing about real world struggles faced by farmers, landowners, and rural residents, the podcast can be a great listen. The host usually brings a mix of humor and thought, full reflection. Well, aren't they wrong?
Yeah.
Who hosts the podcast? No, I don't think I'm getting anything now.
Yeah, I guess that was just like a one-time thing.
I guess.
Let me try.
Anyways, it's yeah.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. No, okay.
No.
Anyways, so while go ahead and do it, because I'm going to go on a little rant here, a vent about people who do not replace shopping carts
Okay.
in parking lots.
Oh
Leaves
yeah,
them- leaves
that's horrible.
Like, honestly, you should be ran over slowly by a shopping cart if you do that. Over and over again.
Yeah.
By an old,
Yeah.
like just,
When they leave it in the middle of the parking lot,
yeah. Or they leave it in a parking spot.
in a parking spot, taking up the spot, they
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, they'll just take off, and it could easily, like, you can tell it's like inches away from just getting that little, going over the edge of a little slope where it'll start to go and then crash into someone else's car.
Or they just they put it in the corral, but they don't push it all the way in. Like they just leave it, and then you've got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it's all bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
The shelter for it is pretty much empty, but they're all sticking out. Yeah.
So don't be a loser.
And then don't
put your shopping cart
and
away.
Keep it in the parking lot. Don't take the shopping cart. You probably don't see this much where you are, but in the city, don't go a couple of blocks and then just ditch the parking lot or the shopping cart.
No, we don't really see.
Yeah, no, some people will do that. I mean, like, you know, you can get like a granny cart, right? I think that's what they're called. Like, if you need, you know, something to cart all your groceries, just
get a granny cart.
Yeah, get a granny. I have a granny cart. I attach it to the back of my bike.
When you're out with your fatties.
No, not the fat, but just my regular bike. It's pretty cool. It's actually called a Burley Travois. You should check it out. And so I put it on the back of that, and then I'm able to unlatch it really quickly, and then I use it as a granny cart. Do all of my groceries. I put all my groceries on the checkout or whatever. Put it back in, Velcro it up, latch it back onto my bike, and away I go. And it's actually pretty cool. It's easy, and then you avoid all the traffic. You get a little bit of exercise, and it's nice on a sunny day. I look a little crazy, and I get a lot of people looking at me, but it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. They're just jealous because they don't have.
So if you ever see someone biking around in Barhaven with a granny cart attached to the back of their bike, that would be me.
And it's in the middle of winter, and they have fatty tires on.
Yeah, no, I don't do it in the winter. Maybe, you never know though. Someday.
Never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just put the damn carts away.
Yeah, put the carts away. Yeah, no, seriously, that's the PSA of the episode. Put your carts away. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public service announcement. If anybody's wondering what PSA is, because as he's saying, I'm going PSA.
Oh yeah, public service. Yeah, you know what though? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's annoying. It's friggin' annoying. And it's lazy. If anything, it's lazy.
100%. Because if you're able to bring the cart out there, there's no reason why you can't
damn well
put
take it back,
right? Like you can't. There's no excuse. There's literally no excuse.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's just lazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my little rant about it.
That's good. I have a little rant about free trials. Right? You ever do that? You ever you
like sign up for something?
You sign up for something.
No, I think I know where this is going.
Whether it's 3 free months or whatever, but you got to, and so we did one that was with let's just say a company called Bodgers, one of the two, right? And it was to get like a crate, like Crave or something like that, right? And so it was, I think the month was up, or I think we ended up paying for the month, but we wanted to take it down. No, it was a free month. We wanted to unsubscribe, right? End it, but their site is always down all the time. You ever get that?
No, I never
just
get
conveniently.
that.
So when it would say it's experiencing, it says, sorry, there's a problem on our end. So I get right to where I need to go.
Yep.
And then it's like unsubscribe or do whatever, you check the box next, whatever it is. And then it would say, sorry, there's a problem on our end conveniently. And it's like that all the time, unless you try calling someone, but then you try calling someone and there's nobody human that you can talk to. Right.
Oh, freaking.
And then, so you go back to the website and it's that again, but let's just say if I were to try to subscribe for something,
you could get on there. No problem.
Oh, no problem. That'll work. No problem. Right. So I'm thinking there should be a law to have equally easy access to cancel subscriptions just as much as it is to get a subscription.
Or you subscribe to something who has a trial run and then it says it'll automatically be renewed.
Exactly. And
it doesn't give you doesn't say we'll send you a email letting you know that in 2 weeks your subscription is going to be renewed if you don't want to cancel it.
Yeah. And then if you go on the website to cancel it, it's like going to what do they call them? The breakout rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
It's next to impossible, to find. And then again, and then, for the signing up for a free trial, there's no free trial. Nothing's free, but a free trial, it would be nice sometimes if you could just do it without giving your life information. They ask for everything, credit card and just,
oops, sorry.
It's like the carrot dangling at the end of the stick. They just want to.
No, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely annoying for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Another pet peeve of mine is my local convenience store. I love corner stores. I love convenience stores.
So does
It's
Phil.
great. Yeah.
The
fantastic.
white heading towards Renfrew. White Lake.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Like a general store,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately, I don't have many general stores, but I have a good old fashioned suburban corner stores around, but I love a general store as well. You can get some black licorice and, but so the corner store by my place, I go there, they stop giving out bags. There's no bags. I can't even buy a bag. So like, let's just say
Not even paper bags?
no paper bags, nothing. So let's just say I'm picking up like 4 Gatorades and a chocolate bar or something, right? It's a convenience store.
Yeah.
You're literally a convenience store. You have one job. Is
To be convenient.
To be convenient for not me to like, be holding like all this crap in my arms.
Yeah, especially if you like aren't planning to go there and
Yeah.
you're coming home
That's
and
the whole
Christine
point of a
calls and
convenience
says,
store.
can you stop at the convenience store and pick up 3,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they don't have a bag. Sorry, I'm not like that. Like a grocery store, I understand. You sort of plan to go to a grocery store. You don't really plan to go to a convenience store. Your convenience store, have bags.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to save the environment, have some paper bags. There's options. They're reusable ones.
Good old paper bags.
I'll pay 50 cents for, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Farm Boy has paper bags.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you're old enough now to remember where, you had to get rid of the paper bags because we were killing the environment. We were cutting down all these trees, so let's have the plastic. And now let's get rid of the plastic and get back to the paper bags.
And the problem with the plastic,
Everything just goes around in circles.
Yeah, the problem with the plastic bag. So there are still some places that
They're
have,
great for kitty litter.
Yeah, exactly. They have some plastic bags in certain places, like the pizza place I go to. They'll have a thing of plastic bags, and they're really good quality, and I reuse them. You see me, like I reuse them, and they're thicker plastic bags, and that's how they used to be. But over time, so when it transitioned, I feel from paper to plastic, the plastics started becoming more and more thin, and it got to a point where it was almost like the produce bags. And I'm walking out of Walmart with like these bags, and everything's falling out like before I even make it to the car, right? And it's complete waste. It's awful, right?
Yeah.
And I guess turtles mistaken them for being jellyfish as well, too, right?
Oh, I guess.
That's what they say. I don't know. Yeah.
There you go.
The big Pacific garbage patch, it's not cool. So, it's good. The plastic isn't a good thing. So I'm all for paper.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it.
But if you're a convenience store, there are options. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just do
my
your job.
my biggest thing is with the whole climate change and everything is that it's become a money making thing now, and it's and my cows are getting blamed.
Yeah.
For don't even get me started.
If you want to get Trace started, like blame cows for climate change, and you love your dear cows, right? And you know what? We should have someone else on here though.
I have somebody. Oh, you mean who's what?
I don't know. Just to have a conversation about this, maybe on the other side. I don't know.
Oh, please. Bring them on. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to because,
Yeah.
But I have somebody in mind that would be great to come and talk about how what advantages there is to having cattle on. But the thing is, and
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Let's hook that up.
This is something that nobody wants to talk about. Is the cows, the big shipping companies that have their planes flying around up in the sky 24 hours a day, ready to land, the hundreds of billions of pounds and tons of stuff that gets shipped across the ocean in the air, all because it's commercial crap like the phones and everything like that. Our biggest problem is we're overpopulated. There's too many people on this earth, and what can you do about it? It's...
So, like, you'd say humans are more of a problem than cows?
I definitely would have to say that. Definitely. And,
Yeah.
It's like look at almond milk. How much water is wasted?
Oh yeah, the
grow
almonds.
almonds.
I heard almonds are big. Yeah.
But do we ever hear about that?
Yeah.
No, we don't hear about that. We hear about how much water is wasted on a farm. Well, anybody who has any friggin' brains in their cells in their brain knows that farmers don't want to waste water.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
the almonds are very popular.
Oh.
Like I don't see them as much, but it's still
almond milk.
almond milk. Yeah, I just bought some.
And and
My
you're
smoothie
telling me
today.
that 100% beef is worse
Yeah.
than this
Yeah.
chemical crap that they're calling food now. And don't even get me started, Matt. It's supposed to be a nice podcast. Don't even. But yeah, it drives me crazy. And the whole abuse thing and whatever.
It drives you crazy.
It drives me crazy. It's misinformation. And as farmers, we can certainly do a lot to make it better for the environment. And we do. I mean, there's lots of things that have happened over the years, but lay off with my friggin' cows. Mm-hmm. Just lay off. If 3 cows are laying in a field and they get up and they poop and all that, don't tell me that they're the ones that are destroying the earth when there's friggin' factories everywhere puffing out friggin' smoke like a old man's fart. Like,
Yeah, lay off your cows.
lay off my cows.
Yeah.
Lay off my friggin' cows.
How often do you check the weather?
Oh, I check. Well, you know how often I check the weather.
I know. This is another question I have.
I check the weather like every 20 minutes. It's like an obsession.
Is it an obsession?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Which which app do you, I find it hard sometimes because I find
I use the Weather Network.
there was one that I was using and I felt like there was just so many alerts all the time. Like it was too much. I just want the weather. Like I don't need all these
Yeah.
alerts and statements and all this stuff. Just
In
give me
the summer,
weather.
I'll turn on the alerts for like thunderstorms.
Oh, so you
and
can
all.
turn. I don't even. Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah. No. If there's a big, like, if there's something serious, but then there's some stuff where I'm like, okay, that's pushing it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I think you're just looking for.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I check the hourly weather
Yeah.
and I check the 2 week, 14-day thing because it's like, I mean, for us, for farming, it's important, right? Like, now, like this type of weather, we don't have to check it so much daily, on throughout the day, because you're either getting snow or you're not getting snow or it's cold up. But in the summer when you're haying, and I like looking at the map a lot, the radar. I depend on that a lot. But in the summer when you're trying to crop and you're trying to get hay in and all that, you need to know if you cut today. So when you cut hay, you cut hay, and you're either gonna two most common things are either dry hay or high moisture hay. And if you're going to dry bale it, then it needs a day or so to dry, and then you rake it. So a day or so to dry, rake it, and then you, depending on how quickly it dries, you can usually dry later on in the day if you get at it at a decent time, or the next day. But like if you like, especially this summer when we had so much rain, it was, okay, well, next week looks like there's going to be 4 good days. Let's cut, and we'll end up high moisturing. So the hay doesn't have to be as dry, and we wrap it. Those are those big marshmallows you see in the fields. And that, but yeah, no weather.
Do you ever use the Old Farmer's Almanac, or is that just like a thing that people buy?
I don't read it as much now.
Yeah.
It's freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Now.
So I never really. It's just predictions, right?
It's just predictions. Yeah, it's like anything else, but it's got like some cool stories and some fun stuff and all that in it. But there's always things, red sky at night, shepherd's delight,
stuff like that.
Red sky in morning, shepherd's warning. If cows are sleeping together in the field, then it's going to be this type of weather. And my grandma always said, and this is true for sure. You can hear the trees calling for rain when you see the leaves turn
I
up.
remember you told me this, and that stuck with me. And I always noticed it before, but you talking like when we first started working together. I was like, oh yeah. And then whenever I see it,
So
notice
when the
it.
pressure changes and you'll notice the leaves will actually curl up, so you can see the lighter side of the leaves, and you can notice, like you can really notice when you're looking in a tree.
Yeah, and you know it's coming. It's close.
It's it's the pressure's dropped and the rain's coming, so the cows.
It looks really neat. Actually,
the leaves are curling up to collect the rain.
I can smell it too.
Yeah, and flies. We always say if the flies are biting, it's a sign of rain. And that, so. You know what I just realized? I just realized that whenever we start getting into a depth, I totally forget we're doing the pot. Like I totally forget that we have the headphones on and everything like this. It's
interesting.
Yeah. So
you ever smell? I can also smell when it's going to snow soon too. It's weird.
No, I can't smell when it's
like it has like this. I don't know if it's just me, but it's like the sweet
because you
smell.
love
the sweet smell.
You know what the best smell in the whole entire world is? I think I've told you this before.
What
is the back of cow's ears?
Oh, you did tell me that. Yeah.
The back of cow's ears, the sweetest smell there ever is. It's a nice sweet smell. Now I don't recommend people to stop on a field on a road, jump a fence, and go and smell a cow's ear, but. If you ever have the opportunity to pet a cow, put the nose
right up there and
just back at the back of their ear. Yeah. It's a nice sweet smell.
Yeah.
It almost I will smell the back of my cow's ears if I'm like
next time I see your cows I'm going to try it.
Yeah, no, it is. It is a great smell. I know you yahoos are listening or laughing at me, but it is a nice sweet smell. It's relaxing. It grounds me.
Nice. That's good. Should make it a fragrance.
You know what doesn't smell nice?
What's that?
Is the back end of a cow.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like I find it just all the scents in there would be hard to just sort of capture maybe the back of the ear when I can smell everything else, but identify.
Yeah,
I guess if you're up close.
You get the smell. Like, well, it was funny because the other night we were in the barn and Mom and I are working away, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, I can hear water running. And farmers, and that's the thing with farmers, like they pick up certain, you know. And I could hear Ron, and I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me. So I went to the back.
You just have like different senses. You can
yeah, exactly.
Hear,
And
it's just like being at work too.
And it's like cow manure. Like, you know, if you can get winter dysentery along, and the smell of their manure is like it got a different smell. Like it's.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And you can always tell like when a calf poos because their smell is like really like.
Yeah.
And that, but yeah, no, and you hear like you pick up on. So first thing, if you ask any farmer, as soon as they walk in the barn, first two things they'll listen for, like even before they get the lights on, is they can hear water running or if they can hear a cow in distress. And you can hear, you get to know, like if the cows are outside, and there's a cow in distress, she or he, if you have a bull or a steer or whatever, have a different call. Like it's a different call that they do than just your regular mooing.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like. We can hear, you know, a mom, if a calf has got away from its mom or whatever, you got the, you know, the moo of, you know, get the hell back here, kids. And then you've got the, I've lost my calf and I can't find it. I'm really frantically looking for it. Yeah. And then that's when you start jumping in the side by side and go looking.
Oh, yeah.
And that, so.
And do they follow you?
Sometimes, not usually. The what the cows mother, like, they're really good for hiding their calves on us. And every spring I always put that video out for at school about the mom cow that's like they'll hide their calves. And like you can spend hours and hours and hours, and the cows, you know, and if she knows you're looking, she'll look in one direction and start walking, and you're thinking, oh yeah, okay, here we go, you know. And then she'll walk for 5 minutes and then just start eating.
Food trumps all, right? With them?
Yeah, oh yeah, but they're also just trying to get you off the scent of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. They're really good. One time we had the last of the cows that were calving, we had them in one field. Like one field. It was one field. And the vet was coming, and one of the cows had calved and had a bull calf, and we thought, well, if the vet's coming, it was old enough now that we could get it castrated. And Mom and I spent like 2 hours looking for that damn calf. in one field. And there wasn't like it was a bush or anything in it. There was a fence line. There was a little bit of prickly ash up at the front. There was a rock pile down at the other end. There was grass and everything like that. We couldn't find that calf. We walked along the fence line, everything. We could not find that calf. The vet came, did the other calves, did whatever he had to do, left. And about half an hour after Ross left, the cow was out with the calf. So I still to this day, we have no idea where she had it hid.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you can walk, like you can, if she tells the baby to lay there and don't move, we've gone looking for calves and we've literally almost tripped over it. And it'll just lay there until you go to grab it. And then you'll hear it give a holler and up and goes.
And then you smell its ears.
No, I say a few choice words. and that. But yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize that's nice we're getting on the
That's
talking.
good. I know. I figured it would just, the cow and the farm talk. I like it to come in organically, right? Like
There you go.
We don't want to, set anything up.
I was today at lunch, I was just telling them about like hardware and milk fever and everything like that. And I think you know what I was saying Meg should know. And she knew what milk fever was, but she couldn't remember what it was. But,
What is it?
So milk fever is, it's more common in dairy cattle because they're heavier milkers. But basically what happens is the cow puts so much into the milk production, and what do you find in milk but calcium, right? Is that the calcium actually, they don't have enough calcium in their bones, and they get weak and can't get up. And it can be life-threatening if it gets serious. So you, if it's a serious case of milk fever and the cow is like flat out and not able to get up, you're going to put a couple of bottles of calcium straight into their jugular so it gets absorbed quickly. If it's not a serious case, but the cow's sitting up but still having a hard time getting up, you'll put it under their skin in a couple spots because it doesn't absorb very easily.
Under their skin, like what?
Under their skin,
Okay.
just like along their back.
Yeah.
And then you let it absorb. And if you have a cow that has a history of milk fever, when it just before it's going to calve or just after it calves, you'll give it some calcium under the skin to help it. That's called milk fever.
Milk fever.
It's basically they lose the calcium in their bones.
Yeah.
In a kind of an easy explanation of it. And then hardware is when, because cows have 4 stomachs, right? So if you have a cow that you see hunched up, its back is hunched up, it's off its feet, it's just not. And cows have a look in their eyes when they're not feeling very well. Like you can tell.
Something's up.
If you pay attention to your cattle, you can tell when they're not, feeling very well. They won't chew their cud. Their nose will be dry. Pardon me. You get a magnet. It's a cattle magnet.
Okay.
And you put it down and so that you will have like I don't know what you want to call it, like a bolus gun, and it's a long piece of plastic with a holder at the end, and then there's a plunger, and you put that down their throat, and then you plunge, you press the plunger, and that pushes the magnet in. And so if cattle have picked up any metal,
I see,
either grazing or in hay or whatever, it'll actually puncture their stomach. So you put a magnet in, so that gets attracted to the magnet, and then it sits in the bottom of their stomach, and it.
Find any cell phones in there?
No. But there was that story about that dog there. Were we talking about that one time? But the dog who, at Christmas time, it swallowed this one of the little cell phones, and they could hear the cell phone ringing, and they, yeah.
Well, I bought a new pair of earbuds, like AirPods, and I guess if you're missing one, you can track it with your phone.
Yeah.
And it'll make a beeping sound, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm listening to music in my bed, and my dog's sleeping next to me. It's crazy puppy, Sadie. And they're brand new AirPods, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and isn't one of them off? And one's in my ear, and I couldn't find the other one. and my dog's
These
next
are the
to me.
new ones you
So-
just bought?
Yeah. So my dog's snoring next to me. So I freaking take out my phone and I put on the tracker thing. It's like beeping. It's making, well, one of them, had the other one beeping. Okay. So that works. So I hear the other one, but it's like really faint. I was like, oh crap. I'm like looking around. I can't find it. And one point I put my ear up to the dog's stomach. I'm like, oh my God, this little thing.
She didn't know, did you?
She did not.
Oh, I was gonna say,
no, it
'cause
wasn't
I'm sure you
beeping,
would-
but I was just waiting for it. I'm like, so like if she did eat it, like, do I wait for it to pass and do I use it again? Do I sanitize it? Will it still work? I don't know. But I wouldn't put it past her. She's a puppy. Like she could totally eat that. So
That is so funny.
yeah, so I did find it. It was like in
Among
between
the sheets?
Yeah, like all twisted up. That's why the sound was so faint. But yeah, now I'm a little worried about listening to my AirPods in bed. So I was thinking of like putting on earmuffs, actual like headphones, or wrap a bandana around my
Yeah,
my
or you
ears.
can put like one of those, those head.
Yeah, the
scarf.
sweatbands.
Yeah, or the the winter ones where they.
Yeah, I forget what those are called. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but anyway, so there was a moment where like it was, midnight sort of thing, and the dog's snoring. I put my ear up, like, oh, did you? Oh my God,
That's too funny.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's that guy there a couple of years ago that got swallowed by the whale, eh? Remember?
Really?
Yeah. He was canoeing. He was actually
I think I read a story about it.
yeah. He literally genuinely
Really?
got swallowed by a whale.
my
I mean, he didn't go down, but he
yeah.
was in the mouth.
Yeah.
He lived by he obviously lived by
Mm-hmm.
lived to tell the tale, but at Cape Cod, 2021.
Oh my God.
His
Kayaking?
knee was dislocated and he had soft tissue damage, he said. But despite the extremely painful experience, he said he plans to go back to diving for lobster, a job he loves, as soon as possible.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Like, that'd be an obituary worth reading.
It's like if I'm swimming in the river and a fish, which has happened, like hits my
Yeah,
leg,
yeah.
I like, get me out of here. Like I just don't like that feeling, right? I don't think anyone does. Like little minnows, I don't care, but to have a whale swallow you and then you say you go back, that's impressive.
Oh, and guess what? There's a movie being released.
Oh, of course. So did it really happen? And then how accurate will it be?
Maybe
Right?
it won't be a
What-
whale.
What will the directors choose to do? Yeah, it won't be a whale. They'll do
It'll be,
something else.
It'll
Yeah.
be some prehistoric
Yeah, exactly.
monster that's
right?
been discovered.
And then he won't be kayaking or whatever. It'll
Yeah.
be something else. He's like swimming a marathon or something.
Yeah, he
they
would
always
wa-
change things.
Yeah, I know exactly. Anyways, whatever. That's
Should we go back to Balderdash? Or,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, may as well, eh? All right. Okay. I'll have to find this.
I have to remember which one is the actual.
Oh, yeah.
True,
Okay.
true.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. A snollygoster. Okay. A mythical creature that lives in haystacks and steals socks left out to dry. Or a shrewd, unprincipled person, especially a politician. Or the sound made when someone accidentally steps on a wet piece of cake. Snollygoster.
I'm going to say the second one.
Yeah.
The politician.
Yeah. That's the real one. You always get my. I thought this was the week. I thought this was. I'm like, I'm going to get Trace. This is it.
Okay, Yapuk.
I can't believe it.
An aquatic opossum.
Mm-hmm.
A water pouch made from the stomach lining of a yak.
Mm-hmm.
An instrument used to measure the temperature of melted iron ore.
The instrument used to measure iron ore, whatever.
No,
Oh my god. Okay.
it is an aquatic opossum.
I thought maybe that, but I don't know. Okay.
No. And actually, I found our Balderdash thing. So if you want to, I can bring you in some of the cards.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
All right.
great game.
What else? What else? You got anything?
Well, so talking
I know
about
what
the
about-
hub.
yeah, okay.
Talking about the hub.
Yeah.
When I was last in there, just inside the door, between the two doors, they always have a shelf of free stuff to give away, like magazines
Mm-hmm.
or some books. And I always look for recipe books for mom. Do you think recipe books are a dying thing?
I bought a recipe book thinking, oh, I'm going to use this. This is it. Like, and I don't use it.
No.
Maybe some, but not really. I generally, my issue though is when you try to look up a recipe online, there's always a huge blog. I just want a recipe, right? And then you go on to like, I don't know, like Mary Kate's like food blog or whatever it is. And you're going through their life story and the history of this recipe, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just get me to the
damn recipe.
And also it's like, there's so many ads. Like I would like a good clean website. Like a database.
It just has recipes.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the odd banner of ads.
And also,
and maybe it exists. And if it does exist and someone listening knows, let me know. Because
and the thing is, when you look on it online, a lot of them are friggin' these new bula bula recipes.
Well, there's
that has the bula bula ingredients. And
what's bula bula?
Bula bula is just bula bula.
Okay. Yeah, and I know there's like all recipes. Like there's like certain recipes with, I don't know, a good recipe book is...
So you can find like a good recipe book at like the International Plowing Match churches.
The best recipe books are the ones that are handwritten.
Yeah.
And you find them in the back of your parents' pantry or whatever. Like my dad has one. It's like from my, grandmothers and aunts and just whatnot.
Yeah, we have like my grandmother always had. My mom loves recipe books. But, no, it's and I find these new modern recipe books are just like, it's like they ask the recipes require you to do so many stupid things.
Yeah. Or like to get ingredients that you'll only use a little bit of once. And then next thing you know.
And you're going to find downtown Toronto in some.
But even if you do find it, like you end up spending all this money because you're getting all these obscure spices or whatnot. And you're just better off getting takeout.
And it's all this special stuff. Like it's not just one onion, it's one shale butternut onion that's like,
and you only need like a little bit of it or something.
Exactly, right? It's anyways. But I always wondered about recipe books. Like there's
I have like that classic one, like I don't know if it's Betty Crocker, but it has like the white and red.
Oh, Joy of Cooking.
Is it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
everybody has the Joy of Cooking.
That's what I bought.
And there's like different editions and
I got it. The only problem is like, I don't know. It's just, where do you put it?
So we have a shelf, a bookcase in the kitchen.
But while you're cooking, like sometimes people will have that little
little stand.
You know what I might do? I could take a picture of the recipe. I just got thinking of this on my phone, and then I'll just have it there.
Yeah, or you could just lay the book on the table. Like
and then it gets all dirty and stuff, right?
That's part of the recipe book, Matt.
That is true. That's a good point. Splashes of spaghetti sauce.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, originally what I was going to say before I went on that was at the hub, in between the two doors, there's a little bookcase there, and they always have stuff for free. So it's like recipe books, magazines, and everything. I found a book from 1967 on teacher survival.
Oh, yes.
And if anybody's new here, Matt and I are two EAs that work in a high school. So, we're teachers to a degree. But the other thing I found, this sucker's brand new. Like, look it is brand new. Is the Uncle John's Fully Loaded 25th anniversary.
At the hub, yeah.
At the hub, for free. It was free. It was free. It was in the, I know.
People would spend like $25 for that.
This is
$39.
US $19.95. So that's like $125 Canadian.
Oh my God, it's true.
But these books are so great. Like they're so great.
Good. Yeah, they're fun.
Like I kid you not. I just opened it up, turned to a page 237, and I kid you not, this was not planned. The bottom of it, wombat have cubed shaped.
No, are you serious?
Look at right there. And this was not planned. Like
oh my God. So like a previous episode, I mentioned that as a fact, just for fun, right?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. That's one of my little, whenever somebody says, oh, what's it about? I'm like, you learn about everything. You learn that like one, but so first president to be photographed in his inauguration. How appropriate was this? Is Abraham. Mm-hmm. And then it's great because it has all these interesting.
It's a good bathroom reader. We should bring back like bathroom readers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a single page of a first edition Gutenberg Bible is worth over $25,000 now. What's there? Then it's all downhill. Your brain stops growing at the age of 18.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man.
Anyways, yeah. So
it's good. Fully loaded. Uncle John's. I love those. That's
They're
good.
great.
Fantastic. And leave it with us,
Yeah.
for the podcast. I love those.
that's why I threw it in my backpack.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like I got a Roots backpack.
Brand new. Like
Roots
we're
boat.
talking like the tags are still on pretty much.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like there was like that tag, that little like insert in
that
the,
you put your name and everything still on, nothing
like,
written on it.
brand new. So a Roots bag, I would imagine, goes for...
I looked it on. I think they're about $80 some.
Yeah.
And it was a wow. So at the pub, anything that's a wow is a little bit more expensive. You can return it.
Yeah.
If you buy clothes and it's a wow and it doesn't fit, because there's no change rooms or anything there, you can return it. I got it for $6.
$6. Okay, so this is everyone listening. You need to check.
No,
out
you
the
don't
hub.
need to come to the hub.
Oh yeah, that's
Stay the
true.
hell
Right?
away.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll edit this stuff out.
Stay away from the hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be taking our treasures. Anyways, what time is it? What time do we have?
Oh shoot, yeah. We 6:30, and we're about an hour and 10 minutes, and I have to go to the washroom. So.
So the rest of the crew is going to be coming in here soon for our meeting. So I guess we better. I guess we better get going. So our next podcast, which will be in 2 weeks, but we're actually going to do it on Tuesday night.
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm. The 4th of February.
We're going to have Sandy, one of
yeah.
our coworkers,
Yeah.
who is quite an entertaining character.
Absolutely, and I think he has.
He'll have great stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and he has like a musical coming out too.
Has a musical coming out.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Did you
to
see
hear
his
all about
shirt
this.
the other day? He had zebras.
No, I missed it.
It was a blue dress shirt with little zebras all over it. It was great.
We're excited to have him on. He'll be our third guest, right? So
Yeah.
we had King and Reg. And
Yeah, we got a few other
Sandy.
guests lined up,
Yeah,
and
so
we've had some people come
Everyone's
forward and
been
say
great
they'd
so
like
far.
to be on. So
Yeah, that's good.
so we'll have to start charging them soon enough. Anyways, that's
This has been great.
It has.
It's just everything about nothing. We just sort of shoot the breeze, eh? This is what it's all about.
this is what it's all about. You just ramble on.
All right. Okay, so we'll call it an episode.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder: if you're in the rural areas and you see a vehicle coming towards you with a flashing green light on the dash, pull over. It's a volunteer firefighter, possibly going to somebody's house
It's a good.
or to an accident.
Yep.
So
And
put your damn grocery carts away.
return your grocery carts. That's what I was about to say. All right. Okay.
Don't be a freaking jerk. All right.
All right, bye.
Cheers, guys.